Hello, hello. Welcome to this beautiful call to know all about money and the money workbook. Both how to become money workbook and the advanced how to become money workbook. With the
Thank you,
beautiful
Reshma.
Chandana.
Thank you, Reshma. Thanks, sweetheart. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, this is something that actually we've been wanting to do since a while now. Talking about the money workbooks. We've been reading the money workbook the How to Become Money workbook. I've probably been reading it for the past 5 years now. The Advanced How to Become Money workbook, I started to read a year and a half back.
There's a lot of noise in the background. Sorry, Chan. Yeah.
And since I became, that's my music. Musical evening. Diwali time. We got to have some music, guys. Come on.
We in the West don't get all the Diwali chatter around us, no? So sort of.
Yeah. So that's why we're sending it to you through this call.
Thank you. Thank you.
Enjoy the music of
Receiving it all. Yeah.
I am just going to interrupt you guys for just a minute. Yes. So everybody who's trying to unmute themselves, the moment they're muted, it's just so that we have a clear recording. So if you have a question, please unmute yourself. If not, please stay muted. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, yes. Can I just step in with a question?
Just a second. We'll go to the question in a bit. Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you. Yeah. So actually, we were talking about how I have done the money workbook for almost 5 years, and the Advanced How to Become Money workbook since a year and a half non-stop. I mean, Reshma and I have been doing it non-stop, right? We've had classes, and it's been amazing because when we started the class, we were like, whether we have one person on the call or whether we have two people on the call, we are doing this. And every time we had a good number of people on the call. And then as the call would start to finish, we'd be like, I wonder if anyone's going to choose now. But we are going to still do it, whether people join us or not. And again, we would have a great call. So I'm like, okay, this class, this book seems to be knowing what it's wanting to create here. It kind of has,
wow.
It's kind of creating itself. It's like, it goes beyond our points of views. It's like, oh man, you got a point of view about staying small. You stay small. I'm not small. I'm growing. I'm big. I'm not going to be small. I'm not going to be tiny. And that in itself started to facilitate us so much that I think it was the third or the fourth book read that we were doing in a class where one of the participants said that this book club is not, the Advanced How to Become Money workbook, is not even about money as much as it is about being. It's about who are you being and what are you being? Because that's what money is. Right? It's an energy and you are an energy. And every time that if you don't have the money that you would like to have, what are you not being? Whoops. That's like, okay,
the buzzer went.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, Ruchika, what was your question, darling? Whoops, okay.
Did you just pluck it out of my head? Because I was like, I want to take a step back. I've done the money workbook 3-4 times, and the question that had been coming up ever since I suggested let's just do a Zoom was, what is it that connects money and consciousness?
Yeah. So, I've done the money workbook, the original How to Become Money workbook, almost 100 times, if not more. And even now, I get certain parts of the book that I didn't get before. Like when I'm reading the book, the original How to Become Money workbook, for everyone who doesn't have it or doesn't know about it, this is the one I'm talking about. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it from the Access Shop. And this book is so phenomenal that every time you read a part of it, it's just the part that's required to facilitate you into having greater money. If you communicate and talk to this book every morning and say, hey workbook, can you show me what's required of me today? And open the book, you will, the first line that your eyes go to, that's what's required in those 10 seconds, without making it significant, without making it permanent, in those 10 seconds. And this is a book that, Gary was channeled and by Rasputin, and this is a conversation between Gary and Ras. So the entire book is written as a conversation between Gary and Ras that questions, and there's so much of information that's truly, 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 truly phenomenal. I mean, after reading this book, this workbook, the way you look at money changes. It's like all along I can speak about myself. I looked at money always as, I have to have the money to buy something, or I have to have money for security, or I have to work hard to have money, or people who have money are mean, people who have money are unkind. Those are all points of views, right? But I had those in my subconscious mind without me even being aware that I had them. I just thought everybody had them. I just thought that was a way to be. So what points of views did you guys have before you did the money workbook? Like Ruchika, you shared you've done it a few times. What changed for you after you did it the first time? Or the second time, or the third time?
I just started feeling money. Up until that time, I just saw money as currency. That's more or less. That's it.
Yeah. And I think we're all told, right, that money is just paper. How many times have you heard that?
I had to really push so much out of my way, which I was not even cognitively aware of, to be able to pick up that book. It was with me for 6 months, and I would look at it and walk away because it felt foolish. What is it about a workbook about money? I mean, you want to earn money, you go get a job.
So true. Oh my God. So true. I couldn't agree more with you on that one. I bought my workbook at my first bars class. I bought the workbook and I came out, and I don't know why I bought it. It just, I didn't know anything about the book.
It's the first thing that comes to mind.
They were like,
when I had
so many books. There was Money Isn't a Problem, You Are. There was Right Riches for You. There were so many books lying there. And I looked at them and I was like, I don't know, I just want this. And I picked it up and I brought it home and I looked at it and I said, I'm not going to do this. This is waste of money. And I just threw it away somewhere, not even knowing where I threw it. Literally left it somewhere to get dust on it. Lying somewhere in my cabinet. It was after a year that I took it out. 1 year.
It happened to you too?
Who thought you were the only one?
Can I also say I did the same? After 2 years to access is when I actually touched the How to Become Money workbook. And that also, I think it was with you or Isha, one of you guys, that I've always, obviously, this is one of the first few books that we actually introduce a newcomer into access, right? Like, oh, you have a money problem, read this book. So I also knew about it. But it took me 2 years to actually get to it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest, I've only read it 9 times up until now. But every time I read the book, it's almost like I'm reading some sentences for the first time.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's like we read each and every sentence in this book because Gary says you have to read it 100 times, so we will read each and every sentence. But it's almost like you get it when you get it.
Yes, so true. You get it when you get it. You pick up the workbook to read when you get it. Not a day before that, not a minute before that, even if it's lying in your cabinets and in your cupboards for
Yeah.
2 years or 1 year or 6 months.
Yeah.
So,
And each
sorry,
book
yeah,
is so different. Like each
it is.
book reading is so different. Like
Yeah.
I remember the first time when I actually did the How to Become Money workbook with Chanda and Isha together. They facilitated the series first. That was so different from the time I did it with alone, and then it was so different from the time I did it with Isha for 6 months. So every series is so different, and it facilitates
Different.
something so different.
So true.
Yeah.
I actually have not facilitated or read this workbook since the beginning of January. The first one that I did. Remember when Isha and I did
Yeah,
it
yeah.
together?
We did
After
it
that,
at a stretch.
at a stretch, right? And after doing that, I did it in the first week of January. And after that, I just started to do the Advanced How to Become Money workbook. And while doing the Advanced Money workbook, I think we were on chapter 7 or something. One day, I said, you know what? We've been reading this How to Become Money workbook. Today, let's go to the basics and let's just bring up all our points of views, if we even have a few, and see what shows up. And we just started to ask the simple question of, in the money workbook, which is, what does money mean to you? And, how does money look like to you? What does it taste like to you? And the simple questions, what you hate about money, what you love about money, all these simple questions. I have to bring up so many points of views again. And I was like, oh my God, I've been doing the Advanced How to Become Money workbook, thinking I've reached a higher level, not recognizing that this original How to Become Money workbook, it still whips you exactly where the limitation is. It like goes attack. And you're like, oh, that hurt, man. Okay, I'll let go. Literally,
Yeah, the
okay.
basics are the basics. I mean, they never go out of fashion, I must say.
So true.
Well said. Well said.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that's where the mind is now interfering a lot whenever I want to do the repetitions of this workbook, because, yeah, and that would be a question from somebody from the non-access also, that once you've done it once and the questions are, what does it taste like, etc., etc. It's almost as if when you pick it up for the fourth, fifth, or whichever time, your mind is jumping to that, oh yeah, you will come to that chapter where it asks what will it taste like, and last time it tasted like chocolate or whatever. So that sort of mental conditioning stops me from sort of picking it up over and over again.
The interesting what you said is that, okay, let me ask you a question here. Does it always taste like chocolate to you every time you ask that question?
No, it has changed. And I have written down my answers every time.
Yeah,
I'm
right?
maintaining the diary. Yes.
Yeah. So do you
Yeah.
look back at your old answers when you do the new ones?
No, I don't look back,
Good
but the
girl.
mind
Good
remembers.
girl. No, in fact, I would really suggest take a notepad, write it, and throw it away. Have nothing to do with those points of views. If you're going to maintain those points of views, they're still going to be solid in your life. Don't use a diary to keep doing it. Don't even use your workbook to write the answers in. Take a
Yeah, I
separate
never
piece
write
of
it in
paper,
them.
write it
Right.
in that, and then throw it.
Oh my
Throw
God,
it,
I've been making it
literally,
so
physically.
significant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
physically
yeah.
throw it. Otherwise, your points of views remain solid.
Yes,
You've
I
written
feel
them
so.
down.
Yeah,
You're keeping them so close to your heart.
close. Yes, yes.
Throw them away in the dustbin. That's where they belong.
That's an awesome idea. Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
I shall do it. Even though I love that diary a lot, but it's going because, yeah,
yeah.
this
Just throw it.
it's safe.
Probably it's the love for the points of views that has you holding on to the diary even more.
Yes,
Everything that is, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, online shots, boys and beyonds.
And if I could just come in here, like when Ruchika was saying, like the resistance to picking up the book, because the questions are going to be the same, the content is the same. But trust
Yeah,
me, it's not. like the questions are the same, but the way you look at it each time is so different.
yes, absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more on that one.
Yeah.
Each time it's different because each time you get a different awareness. Because whatever happened in those 10 seconds when you wrote what you wrote was in those 10 seconds what money meant to you. The day you have a good money day, your points of views about money will be very different to the day you pick up that book and write when you have a bad money day. It really depends on your points of views in those 10 seconds. And that's what you want. Every time you pick up that many 10 seconds of points of views, you are destroying and uncreating.
Awesome.
It's like, it's
Correct.
really, and it's really something that is so expansive. When we do the ritual How to Become Money workbook, it's so expansive because you start to know, oh my God, yes, honey, it's really, oh my God. Yeah. And it's like really funny because, you know, every time that you're doing it, you are like, now I've got it right. I've done it 10 times.
Yeah.
I'm on the right path. And every moment you've decided you're on the right path, guess what? You just stopped your receiving by deciding and concluding it's the right path.
Yeah.
Everything that is, will you all destroy and uncreate it all, please?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pop, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds.
Thank you.
Yeah.
One question and then I'll leave the floor for the rest.
Please, go ahead.
So if this video was being seen by people who are not from the Access background and wish to join in the club for the Money Workbook series, they would have to first say, okay, step 1, connect consciousness to money, and then go for it. What can you just share that would create ease for them to?
So first, I just want to make sure, is bars a prereq for the How to Become Money workbook? Does anybody know? No. Okay, cool. Then it's okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Fine. Well, you actually, you know what? Honestly saying, a book like this for a non-access person to pick up, you could try.
But you know, on the contrary, the terms that are used in the How to Become Money workbook are not really access.
Yeah,
they're
not access.
Yeah. Open to a non-access person. So, well, I wonder what you're aware of, Ruchika.
And I wonder how manipulating you can be. You tell them this is the best money book. Forget your accounting and forget all the money classes you've been to. Just do this one. It's just a little workbook. Yeah, and I have no point of view about them choosing, really.
Yeah.
Just know that if the person is really choosing to change his financial reality, he's going to choose it. Like by you picking up buying the workbook, keeping it in your home for 6 months. By me buying the workbook, keeping it in my home for 1 year before reading it. Reshma for 2 years. And I don't know about everybody else on this group, whether you bought the books and whether you read them immediately or whether you had it lying. Even with it just lying in your home, it started to shift something for you.
Correct.
Because everything has consciousness, including the book lying in your house. This money workbook lying on your bedside table, it has every molecules of it have consciousness. And it starts to change things for you without you even knowing. And it's the consciousness of who you be that has you finally reaching out to the workbook.
Chandana?
Wow.
Yes, darling.
You just said each time you think that you got it right, you stop receiving. What's that?
Every time you think you got it right, you created a limitation. Because now it's a decision. Now it's a conclusion. There is no question. Every time you put a full stop and you say, now I got it right, you put a full stop.
Wow.
Okay, cool. This is working. What else is possible now? That's the way you want to look at it. That's the way you want to acknowledge what is working for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, darling. Which is why, we say that every judgment, every right judgment, every wrong judgment, good judgment, bad judgment is a judgment. It's a limitation. It's a point of view. And every point of view that you have about money, the good point of view, the bad point of view, is going to create a limitation. And that's what we start to pock and pod when we start to read the money workbook. We pock and pod the good point of view, the bad point of view, every point of view that doesn't allow you to have the money. And everything that brought up and brought down, can we please destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, online shots, boys and beyonds. Yeah. So does anyone have any questions about the money workbook? Now we know it doesn't have a prereq. I wasn't sure about that. Thank you for clarifying. Anyone with a question?
Does it really change your financial reality?
I love you. I love you. Does it?
Yeah, to be honest, every time I've read the book, it's really changed a lot.
Unfortunately, it's just so damn easy. Unfortunately, you just read a book and you make money.
Yeah,
you don't even have to work hard.
I'm not even kidding you. Like, I've been reading the book and clients show up from nowhere.
That's how easy it is, right?
It's not only for me. I've even observed when I actually started reading the book, my dad created more business in his business.
Wow.
He went global.
Wow.
So I'm not making the shit up. It really does happen. Like, you create it. You choose it.
You mean the money workbook really works, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it does. It does, guys.
If you want it that easy, like you read a book and you make money. If only that. Or you want to work your ass off for 30 years and, do all of that, that's cool too.
Absolutely. It's actually about being willing to receive and willing to have it that easy. Yeah. You could be reading the money workbook, and even if you're reading it with a point of view that it can't be easy, you're still going to make money. Because even while reading it and pock and podding your points of views, you are still making money. You are going to make money. But the level of receiving would depend on how much you're willing to give up and how much you're willing to now receive.
Yeah, I loved what you said. Like, even if you're reading with the resistance, you still make money.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. Telling you, it's just too easy. Yeah. Probably that's why people don't want to read the book. They'd rather do something difficult.
Yeah, it's almost like,
Yeah.
There's like you have to stand on one leg, twist and turn, and all the hard work.
Like this, pull my ear, jump on one leg and say, money, I have to work hard. Bullshit. Yeah. You just got to read the money workbook. Yeah. And yes, of course. Yeah.
Sheetal, would you like to unmute yourself and ask?
Hi guys. Hi Chandana.
Hello.
How are you?
Very good, sweetheart. Thank you for being on.
Thank you.
Can we see your pretty face, please?
No, it's all dark in here and I've got early morning flight, so I'm about to sleep. But then I'm awake because I wanted to be part of this call. Probably not so pleasant.
Awesome. Thank you for being on. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So Chandana, I want to ask you something. I have not finished yet reading the entire money workbook.
Okay.
However, I would like to share some magic which happened with me. So, wow. And like the very first time when I was listening, this money workbook was in a group, and I got into foundation. Okay, and I wanted to enroll myself in foundation. Post that, it's recent that I opened my money workbook, and there were two of us who were reading money workbook, and then I got clients like who just like quickly, they were like pinging me every time that they want to, have a session with me, and I earned some like 7,000 to 8,000 rupees. And trust me, like it just came in my awareness that is it because of money workbook? And trust me, I have not finished entire book. Hardly like 3-4 pages also creates a lot of magic.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow! I so agree with you, sweetheart. And that is the beauty of it, right? Even one page, even a few lines create
Exactly.
magic. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Sheeta,
this was
don't
a
read
share.
the book. Don't read the book. You make more money. You'll be so easy. Don't.
No, I'm not going to read the book for sure. Now the question part is this. So when I open the money, all this while I've been reading with people, okay? So when I'm
Okay.
alone at home and I really want to read it, okay? The motivation doesn't come, but however, I would want to read it. And so how to start it? Like, there are questions initially, like, Gary asks everybody. So from there, do I need to start or straight away I should jump onto chapter 1? Like, how can I
Can
No.
I
start?
answer that? Can I answer that?
Yes, please, darling.
Sheeta will just come on to the book club and we'll tell you how to do it the right way.
The right way.
Yes.
Have it right.
Why not?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a choice. You can always hop onto our book club. We are planning to. When is our book club, by the way, Resh?
20. I'll get you the date in a minute. 26.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So we are planning to do it for, we're planning to do it every day for 10 days. And 10 calls, an hour and a half every day. I wonder what that can create. But yes,
Yeah.
coming to your question, you start from doing the questions and then reading. And then wherever you stopped, do the questions again the next day and start to read from wherever you stopped. Or what you can do is, that's if you're doing 1 page at a time or 2 pages at a time, right? If you're doing the first chapter, so you do the first chapter questions, read the full chapter. The next day, pick up chapter 2, do the questions, read the chapter, right?
Correct.
The thing with honestly, I know Reshma was saying that to you just to throw a veggie into your universe more than anything else. But yes, when we read together, when we read the money workbook together, there are lots of points of views which show up for all of us together. So if there are 5 of us reading it, 10 of us reading it, 20 of us reading it together, 50 of us reading it together, there are so many points of views, the energy of which is so alive in the class. And then when we pock and pod those points of views, where you alone would have pod and pocked maybe 1 point of view or maybe 2 points of views, you're actually pock and podding maybe 15,000 or 20,000 points of views at one time. So that's the way book clubs really, really work and create greater. That's why I have always chosen to do book clubs. I love doing book clubs because of this. Because whenever the energy is more vibrant, the energy is more intense, and because so when you do a book club with the CF, you also get facilitated, right? So you also get facilitated for your points of views. So if you have certain points of views around money, and it's not just a book read, it's also a facilitation around that. So that does create a lot more than just reading it at home. But having said that, it's better to read than not to read at all. Right? Yeah. And that
Supriya,
is, yes, darling.
no, go on. Sorry.
No, please go ahead. What are you saying?
Supriya has a question. She
Yeah.
says, I always fall asleep whenever I read the money workbook. Does
Oh,
it happen
tell me
to
about
anyone?
it. Oh my God, me too. The first time when I read the book, I couldn't go beyond page 1. And I made my husband sit with me. And I said, let's both change our financial reality. Let's sit and do it. He got up after 5 lines and he said, I have a stinking headache, migraine ho gaya, pata nahi what you're making me read. He never read the book again. He's like, kya ya Chandana, migraine ho gaya shuru. I'm not reading the stupid book. Keep it to yourself. And he walked off. Headache, 5 lines pad ke headache ho gaya. And I was like, you know what? I read 1 page, my head is hurting. Why is this? I want to go sleep. I went to the room, I popped in a medicine. I actually popped in a Crocin, I still remember. And I crashed out. And it was at 8:30 at night. So yes, this book makes you sleep because there's so much of unconsciousness around money. So much
May
of
I share
unconsciousness
something here,
around
I
Chandana?
read the first page for a month because I just couldn't make head or tail of what English was in that.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. You're so absolutely. And that's the energy that you're receiving more than the words. It's an energy in that. When you're reading that workbook, the energy of the words are actually what is changing your reality.
May I share something here, Chandana?
Yes, please do.
I remember when I ordered this book, I probably saw some video or read about it. Gary saying something that read it 100 times and
Yeah.
your money reality totally changes. I remember ordering it, trying to read it. Okay. And it was like as if, the book is in some other language.
Yeah.
Okay. It took, I think for 6 months, it was just lying in a corner. Okay.
Oh, you too?
Yeah,
You too?
I mean, and then I read it and, nothing like it made absolutely no sense to me.
I know.
That day and this day, I think I've probably read it like 15 to 20 times by now, like even with different facilitators. And every time something comes up. Like, it's like, okay, this was not there earlier.
Yeah.
There's so many tools in there. It's such an amazing book. I mean,
it's so true. I agree with you.
It's really amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, and it took me so long. I think I got it in 2017. Took me so long just to kind of, get that it was my resistance to change or like something like that. Because otherwise, I'm a very voracious reader, like not just access books, even otherwise. But it was like as if it was like Hebrew or Chinese.
Yeah,
Which
I so agree
absolutely
with
like
you.
not a word made a sense. Like it was like overhead transmission and wow.
Overhead transmission, I love it. Absolutely. I used to call them tangents. I used to say when I read this book, I feel they are tangents. They're like just going over my head. Like boom, boom, boom. Everyone is a tangent. What is this? And yeah, and that's the beauty of it. But the more and more you read it, the more and more you choose to be conscious with money, and the more and more you choose to be uncomfortable with having money, the easier and more comfortable the book gets to read.
And do you know what? Even the other book club that you're doing, Getting Out of Debt Joyfully, it kind of shifted. It's already kind of shifted something for me. It was, I think whatever it was, like wherever I was, be it not doing my 10% or not keeping an account of my expenses, I was not even willing to look at it that, okay, this is what I'm doing. Many a times it was like, okay, I don't have the time or like, it's not as important. For the first time, I mean, being on that book club, How to Get Out of Debt Joyfully with you.
Which one?
I said, okay.
Getting Out of Debt, and what is it? How to Get Out of Debt, Stay Out of Debt, and Live Prosperously.
Yeah, exactly.
Gerald Mundis. Yeah.
So it became more like, okay, that maybe we are making I'm making this choice right now, as of now. What if I can stop judging myself for it? What if I say, okay, this is...
Yeah. So it's not about, like what I said in the other book club too, it's not about judging yourself for having less money or more money or not doing or using the tools before. It's just about acknowledging that you didn't have the tools that you have now available to you. And now what can you do with them? It's acknowledging that, this is a space that I am in. This is what I have. And somewhere debt and money kind of sometimes goes hand in hand, because a lot of people have misidentified and misapplied debt as having money. But debt is debt. And having money.
You know what,
having money.
Chandana, honestly, for me, it's not like that money does not come. Okay? Money has never been a problem in terms of choosing something. If I liked something, I saw something very expensive, I always found a way of getting it. That's what I know. But then, the financial literacy and even like financial planning, as they say, that was something that
is zero. That's almost zero in,
exactly.
In us in
And
Indian women
honestly,
and men.
yes,
Yeah,
yes. Though
it's
I've
not just the
worked in a
women.
bank, for more than 2 years, I've worked in a bank in Canada. So I'm financially very literate.
Yeah.
Imagine. But even despite of that, despite of having that knowledge and knowing like how, in this reality money works, a lot of knowledge. I
Because
was like, what am
that
I?
knowledge is pretty rational, right? That knowledge is very
Yeah.
legal.
And
That knowledge is all this reality,
so
right?
getting down to it, getting out of judgment is one major take,
Yeah.
and the other one is that it's like a choice, because it's like choosing a big like a more joyful reality, the one which has it's like where you are choosing more of yourself, right?
Yeah,
And
and that's what we are actually now going to talk about, is choosing more of you. And
exactly, it's not money, it's
is
choosing more of you.
and that is what this book does, Advanced How to Become Money Workbook. This one. This is about choosing to be more of you. Because this is about, that's which is why we have, the prereq as the original How to Become Money Workbook done 5 times, and the foundation. Because this book is a very advanced class. It's a money workbook. I wouldn't suggest it to anybody unless they have the prereqs. I remember the first time when we did it, again, we were supposed to finish it in 3 months or what? I don't even remember.
Yes. We
Yeah.
were supposed to finish it in 3 months. And I was missing for all 3 months, just saying. I couldn't be on it.
She couldn't be on one call. And every time she had a valid reason why she couldn't be on the call. It was really valid. Yeah.
And the best part was Chandana didn't come back to me and ask me why you're not on the call. She just let me be for 3 months. And then one day I came and told her, I said, Chandana, I just cannot be on this call. I would create another call, or I would create a hospital thing, or I would create this friend needed me, or I'd created some shit.
Yeah.
And then finally, when I actually got onto it, it was only 6 months after Chandana actually started reading the Advanced How to Become Money Workbook.
Yeah. Yeah, we were supposed to finish it in 3 months. It took us 7 months to finish it. 7 months to finish the first book read. Because when we would read it, people would fall sick. People would vomit, and they would text, I can't do it tomorrow. I can't do it. Everybody was sick. I was sick. I was feeling like, what is this? I don't want to look at the book. There was so much of resistance between all of us. Thank you for being on, Ruchika. Have fun with the kids. And I remember all of us were just so much in resistance of this book. And we were so lucky because it was so wonderful. I wouldn't say lucky, but the universe has its ways. Every person who was on the call was willing to have the book read literally take us. We were not in control of the book read. The workbook was taking us along. Because where we were supposed to finish in 3 months, we finished in 7 months. And I remember there's this, there's some really beautiful little snippets here. It's like, this one is really lovely, that one of the key elements to having an enormous, amazing, and creative life is the willingness to receive. Because in order to receive, you have to be willing to be. What you are not willing to be is that which keeps you from receiving. This is just the first page, the first line. It doesn't believe in little soft ones. It like goes right in. And that's what you really want to look at. What am I refusing to be? True receiving is being able to receive all the information that is. It's when we resist receiving, resist the information, that we are really not going to receive what's available to us. And it's a capacity to perceive everything without a point of view. And when you're willing to perceive everything without a point of view is when you can receive everything. And what this workbook does is it takes you through these 9 chapters of literally being willing to perceive so you can finally receive. And that's where you start to be. So this is a book club that we are going to be starting now. This is my, which book club is this now? 7th, 8th? I think the 7th or the 8th time that we'll be reading it.
The
And
advanced how to become money workbook?
yeah,
I've lost count. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
no, yeah, something like that. And it's just that we really don't want to stop. So we are going to be reading it, and we would love you guys to be on too. And I generally, the price is generally priced at 33,000 for the book read. But for the New Year's and for us to create a greater reality in 2020, this time, for the first time, we are charging only 11,000 rupees for 3 months. So money's not an excuse anymore, guys.
Yes. And if
Yeah.
you haven't done the How to Become Money workbook, and if you'd like one before this, do reach out to us and we can create one for you.
Yeah.
And you can listen to the replay 5 times and get onto this call. If you also have the foundation as the prerequisite.
Yes. And this book is truly something that can change your reality in ways that are really beyond. So if you want to become money, you have to be willing to be what creates money instead of being that which makes you wrong. So most of the time, we are trying to make ourselves wrong. And every time we make ourselves wrong, we push money away from us. Every time you make yourself wrong, you're pushing money away from you. Everything that is, will you all destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pot, call 9 shots, boys and beyonds. So we have a 10-day class coming up. Yeah, Reshma, you had a question?
No, I didn't have a question, but I just wanted to share that after the 7 months, for the first time, I was present with the Advanced How to Become Money work in the first week of January this year. And I've done it 3 times in this year already. And it's been a roller coaster. It's been uncomfortable, but it's still been a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not saying this or anything, but I'm just saying it because
It is. The workbook is phenomenal, and it doesn't matter who you do it with, really. You can do it with a facilitator. You can buy the book and read it on your own, but do it.
Yeah.
Just get to doing it. This book can really change a lot for all of you. And
so the How to Become Money workbook begins on November 15th, and it goes on to the 24th of November. And the Advanced How to Become Money workbook is from the 21st of October.
yes, I'm excited.
And I am too.
Yes. And we do exercises, we do energy pulls, we do a whole lot of crazy stuff. And we meet here every week on Zoom for an hour and a half and
Clear a lot of stuff.
Clear a lot of stuff. So that's fun for you for the next 3 months. Just reach out to Reshma or to me, and we shall put you in our little WhatsApp group where we already have people hopping on and starting with the book read. Okay? So any questions, or are we good? Any questions about the workbooks? Or about money? Cool. So
thank you so much for hopping on and being here with your questions. We are so grateful.
Thank you.
And
Thank
see you guys on the call or not, or elsewhere.
Yes. Anywhere.
Yes.
Anywhere in the world. Yeah, Lena. I think Lena has a question.
Lena has a question. Yes, Lena.
Yes, Lena.
Lena,
what's the difference between wealth and money? Oh, that's a big one. So money is energy, just the way you are energy. Money is energy. Money is a byproduct of what you create. Okay, it's not the source of creation. You are the source of creation. Currency is what we use as a barter, which we call money in this reality. Wealth is something that you create for the future. Wealth is based on the value of judgments. So gold is valued as something that's expensive. is a judgment around gold, that it's expensive. Iron is valued as something that's cheap as compared to gold. So if you have money and if you were to look at creating a wealth, would you buy kilos of whatever of gold, a brick of gold, or would you buy a brick of iron? You're looking at
Gold.
creating wealth. You would buy, you would look to buying gold because that is what has greater value based on the judgment of what is.
All right.
And that's what has you creating the future.
So, wealth also creates money.
Wealth creates money, but wealth comes from, okay, so money is an energy. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you're talking about money, are you talking about just the cash? Or are you talking
No,
about
I
the energy
want
of
to know
wealth? Are you talking about the
difference
energy of
between.
money?
No, I want to know the difference between wealth and money, and what does wealth do for you,
So this is a
as
difference, right?
opposed to what.
Yeah, this is the difference, that money is an energy and currency is what we use in this reality as an exchange, right?
Okay.
Wealth is
Yeah.
what you buy, which has an intrinsic value in this reality
Okay.
based on judgments,
Okay. Got it.
right? So when you're creating wealth, you're creating something for the future.
Right.
Wealth does not only include money. Wealth does not only include gold and silver. Wealth, in some cases, in many cases, can be just your kids. Wealth, in many cases, can be your caring mom. Wealth can
Got it.
also be your dog. Anything that has you creating greater for the future is wealth,
Okay.
right?
Thank
Money is
you.
part of it. Yeah. You're welcome, darling. You're welcome.
Thanks, Chandana.
You're welcome, sweethearts. And thank you for that question, Lena. It's one of my
Yeah.
favorite
So,
questions too.
yeah. So it's been on my
I used
mind
to,
for a week
yeah,
now.
I used to also always ask this question to, I think, every facilitator, because everybody has a different way of looking at wealth and money. And I wanted to get everyone's, how does everyone look at wealth and how does everyone look at money? It's so
Yeah.
interesting, right? Because in this reality,
Yeah.
we club it together. We're like,
Yeah.
money,
But it
wealth,
actually
cash,
is.
sab kuch ek hai.
Yeah.
But it's
It's
not
actually different.
true. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for the explanation.
You're welcome. You're welcome, sweetheart. All right, guys. Thank you for being on. And see you soon.
And thank you for creating the space of changing. Like, I just can't thank you enough for what the how to get out of debt, stay out of debt, live a prosperous life has created for me.
Oh,
Wow.
for me too.
It's
a free book
been-
read. And
Yeah.
it's a free book read. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. And
it's insane.
It's insane. And I'm just so grateful for everyone who hops onto the free book read, and we have it every day.
Yeah.
And if you really, although now we are almost on, 9th chapter or something, but
yeah, we're on the 10th now. We're going to begin 10th tomorrow.
10th.
But even then, like, if you guys want to hop on the free book read, please do.
yes,
Like,
please
really.
do.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, guys. Good night. Have a great night.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Good night.
Good night.